Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, Wooden Railway Adventures, Episode 187, Go Boldly, Culdee. One morning, Thomas and his coaches were on their way to Maithwaite Station when he saw a very unusual engine outside of the steamworks. "Annie, Clarabelle, look," he said quietly. "Have you ever seen anything like that before?" "It appears to be a mountain engine," said Clarabelle happily. "You should go talk to him, Thomas." "Oh, yes, indeed," said Annie. "What, me?" spluttered Thomas. "What am I going to say?" "Oh, I don't know." "Hey, you, over there! Nice railway you got here." "Annie, what are you doing?" asked Thomas. "You're embarrassing me." The engine looked over at Thomas. "Why, hello there," he said cheerfully, "and welcome to the Culdee Fell Railway." "Hi there," said Thomas shyly. "What a lovely station you have here. I'm Thomas, and these are my coaches, Annie and Clarabelle." "Pleased to meet you all," said the engine happily. "My name is Culdee, obviously." "Obviously?" asked Thomas curiously. "Oh, where are my manners? I'm named after the railway, of course." "Wow," said Annie, "that's most impressive." "Too bad you're not named after your railway, Thomas," said Clarabelle cheekily. "Oh, quiet down back there," said Thomas defensively. "Anyway, we must be going." "Oh, don't leave quite yet," shouted Culdee eagerly. "I'm sorry. I haven't talked to anyone new in a while. I just arrived here on Sodor, and you're the first big engine I've met." "Where are all the rest of your friends?" asked Thomas. "Surely it can't just be you here." "But it is," smiled Culdee. "We've all been away overseas for repairs, and I'll be the only one running the line for the meantime." "Ahem," came a voice. "Don't forget about me." "Oh, of course. My apologies, dear. That's Catherine, everyone, and she's my coach. The two of us have to climb the line tomorrow to deliver some supplies before winter sets in, so I best be going. But it was very nice to meet you all." "Nice to meet you too, Culdee," said Thomas. "He seems like a nice engine." "A very dashing engine indeed," said Clarabelle. "Oh, what I wouldn't give to go sightseeing with that fellow." "Annie," shouted Thomas, "that's enough. I think it's time we got going again." That night, Catherine and Culdee were in their sheds, resting up for their impending journey. Culdee was a bit nervous, however. "I'm not quite sure about our trip tomorrow," he said to Catherine. "It's going to be a dangerous one, and I haven't climbed hills this steep in years." "Relax, Culdee," she said calmly. "It will be a piece of cake. You focus on pushing the train up the hill, and I'll keep a sharp lookout like I always do." "But this is a very important delivery," said Culdee. "The supplies we're taking will be used to build the roof for the summit station. If we don't deliver the pieces in time, then the project will have to be completed next spring, and our opening day could be delayed." "You needn't worry about a thing," smiled Catherine. "We'll leave bright and early so that we can get up and down the mountain as soon as possible." "You're right," said Culdee firmly. "There's nothing to worry about. We'll conquer Culdee Fell with the swift turn of a side rod." The next morning, Culdee and Catherine were preparing to leave the station when they saw Sir Topham Hatt walk up. "Sir, what are you doing here?" asked Catherine. "I wanted to wish you both good luck on your expedition today," he said. "Hopefully you'll be up and down the mountain before tea time." "That's the plan, sir," said Culdee cheerfully. "Excellent," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Now, if you don't mind, I'm off to bed again. It's way too early to be up at this kind of hour." Culdee and Catherine chuckled. The sun was just starting to peek over Gordon's Hill in the distance when the guard's whistle blew. "Go boldly, Culdee," said Sir Topham Hatt, "and have a wonderful trip." "Yes, sir," shouted Culdee. "Off we go!" And he steamed quickly out of the station. The track ran flat for a while, and he and Catherine sped down the line as fast as he could, which wasn't particularly fast. Soon, however, the track began to grow steeper as they began their rigorous ascent. "Take your time, Culdee," shouted Catherine. "Don't run out of puff too early. The track's clear as far as I can see." Culdee went slowly up the mountain, but it was still hard work. His cheeks quickly turned as red as his fire. It had been a while since he had climbed something this steep. Smooth and steady," repeated Catherine. "Good job, Culdee. You're almost at the top." And the two came to a quick stop. "Catch your breath," said Catherine. "How are you feeling?" "Old and out of shape," chuckled Culdee. "The supplies in this truck are surprisingly heavy." Just then the track began to quiver beneath them. Culdee spotted some rocks falling into the abyss below. "Let's get going," said Catherine. "We'll have to tell the workmen that this section of the line needs some repairs this winter." And the two bounced over the false summit and in no time were passing by the station where the workmen were waiting. "Well done, Culdee," shouted Catherine. "Nearly there." Then there was trouble. The ground underneath the track suddenly gave away and Catherine was left dangling off the side of the mountain. "Ah!" she screamed. "Go back! Go back!" The workmen quickly ran over and jumped inside the open car. "We can finish the roof in the spring," one of them shouted. "Let's get off this summit before all of the track falls apart." With all of his might, Culdee pulled Catherine back onto the rails just as the remainder of the track went flying off the edge of the mountain. "Well, that was a close one," said Culdee as he breathed a sigh of relief. "Are you okay, Catherine?" "Yes, I'm fine," she managed to say. "But let's get somewhere closer to the actual ground, shall we?" "You don't have to ask me twice," agreed Culdee, and he chugged slowly away. Nobody talked much on the way down the mountain. It was very eerie when they passed the wreckage of track near Shiloh. At last they arrived back at Kirkmaston Station. "Welcome back, everyone," shouted Sir Topham Hatt. "I've had a nap and I'm... Wait, I see that you still have the supplies, Culdee. What happened?" "The entire line came apart at the summit," said Catherine wearily. "I just about pulled a Godred, but Culdee was magnificent as always and hauled me to safety." "Well, I'm certainly glad everyone's all right," said Sir Topham Hatt. "We can finish the station in the spring when the snow melts. Safety always comes first on my railway. Speaking of which, I must be off. There's been yet another accident near Tidmouth. Again." And Sir Topham Hatt walked away. "You were marvelous, Culdee," said Catherine happily. "Not really," he admitted. "I almost let you fall off the side of the mountain, Catherine. I would have never forgiven myself if that had happened." "Oh, please, save your speech for another time," she interrupted. "You know very well that if I had fallen off the mountain, I was going to take you with me, whether you liked it or not." Culdee chuckled. "I suppose you're right," he said, smiling. "Come on, then. Let's get started on the winter renovation, shall we? We seem to have a lot of areas in need of repairs." Now what would give you that kind of idea?" asked Catherine smugly. "Very funny," replied Culdee, and the two friends puffed away, eager to get started on their very busy winter.